The Pittsburgh Steelers are open to trading wide receiver Diontae Johnson. So, the past couple of weeks, you heard many reports out there saying that Diontae Johnson and the Pittsburgh Steelers may be parting ways. Well, yesterday was a big day in terms of news surrounding Steelers wide receiver Diontae Johnson and the trade market. Many people came out saying the Pittsburgh Steelers could be trading wide receiver Diontae Johnson, and Tony Pauline said the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't shopping Johnson, but are very open to trading him for the right price. And Diontae Johnson, he put out some stuff on social media as well that's really kind of concerning if you are a fan of him and you want him to stay on the Steelers. Because there's been reports the last couple of months basically saying that Diontae Johnson is not happy with the Steelers situation. He's in the final year of his contract. He may be doing a hold-in. That was a report earlier this month as well, that he may be doing a hold-in for a new contract and a huge extension. Also, that he's not happy with Kenny Pickett being the starting quarterback. He's obviously said he wants Mason Rudolph to be the starter in his end of season press conference as well, and he's just not happy with the Steelers situation just in general. And now the report yesterday is saying the Pittsburgh Steelers are open to trading Diontae Johnson. It has been reported that the Pittsburgh Steelers are open to moving their receiver if they receive fair compensation. That was the quote by Tony Pauline. So you look at that quote and you look at Diontae Johnson and you look at the extension that he signed. It's during the 2022 season that he signed it, and it runs through the 2024 season. So this season would be his last season under his new contract that he signed, and that he actually did the hold-in for, because he did a hold-in in the past. So when I bring up that there's been reports that he might do a hold-in again, he already did one in the past, so it may be another one this season. But in his last season, 2023, the first season of his new contract, it was marred by injury. The first 4 weeks of the season he missed. Basically, he missed week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5 with that injury, and he got 51 passes for 717 yards and 5 touchdowns across 13 games. The week 1 hamstring injury is what set him back and put him in injury reserve. So he missed a month there, and while he made plays in the passing game, this season he was also marred by low effort moments and appeared shouting matches with teammates and coaches on the sideline. So the last few seasons, if you remember, Diontae Johnson had some outbursts on the sideline, and if you remember before that, he seemed like the quiet wide receiver who never really talked and someone who you cannot have to worry about in terms of having those outbursts. But the past 2 seasons, those outbursts seems like he's had them so much more, and that his whole personality in terms of that has changed. I could be wrong here, but that's what it seems like from just looking out and observing it on the sideline and observing what he kind of does in his motions during the game. But Diontae Johnson, if you're one of those people who want him to be traded, there's actually a $3 million roster bonus due on March 16th. Meaning that if you are hoping that Diontae Johnson gets traded, you better hope it happens before that $3 million roster bonus sets in on March 16th and he gets traded before that day, because that would be $3 million less that they would have to be able to spend in free agency or elsewhere. And the $3 million, that could go a long way to getting veterans on the team. So, like I said, Diontae Johnson, after these reports have come out, did post on social media. He said, in quotes, "It is what it is," with a shrug emoji. And you could read into that however you want to read into it. You could read into it basically saying, it is what it is. If I get traded, so what? Or it is what it is. These are just rumors, made up stuff. It is what it is. I can't do anything to stop these rumors. So, Diontae Johnson, looking at his situation in Pittsburgh, like I said, there has been stuff surrounding him the past couple of months since the season ended, basically saying he might get traded and that he might be off the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like I said, he's been very upset about the Steelers quarterback situation. He made it adamant in his press conference to end the season that he wanted Mason Rudolph to be the starter, that he doesn't believe Kenny Pickett should be the starting quarterback moving forward, and it makes complete sense. Even if him just saying that is just to say it, and it's not really true belief that Mason Rudolph should be the starter, because I'm sure he doesn't believe Mason Rudolph should be the starter over other quarterbacks in the league who are out there who are up for trade or free agency. But him saying that basically says move away from Kenny Pickett. Get me a different quarterback. Even if it's not Mason Rudolph, get me a different quarterback. And that makes complete sense. I made a video in the past basically saying that this Diontae Johnson situation throughout his career in Pittsburgh has just not been a good one. You look at it, he's always been the scapegoat for everything that the offense has gone through. You look at it and you say, hey, he drops too many passes, even though he doesn't. You say, hey, he runs backwards, but he's the person who's making the most yards after catch on the team most of the time, unless it's those long plays like the 70-yard touchdowns by George Pickens. But other than that, on those short routes, Diontae Johnson's the one who's making the most space and having most yards after catch, but he always gets to be the scapegoat saying that he runs backwards. Yes, there's a couple plays that he runs backwards, but he's trying to at least create space and get more yardage up the field. He's running backwards to go upfield, but he just gets tripped up or tackled. But he's always a scapegoat for everything. And also, you look at his time with quarterbacks throughout his career, he had Big Ben in his last season. He had Kenny Pickett on a rookie contract. He had Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph. He's just never had that quarterback to help propel his game. And if he gets that quarterback, many things could change. So that's why I'm saying he's always been that tough situation with the Pittsburgh Steelers throughout his career and was really put in a bad situation. And I'll stay with that. I keep saying it, but I truly believe if he gets a quarterback that actually is able to utilize his talent down the field, put the ball on him all the time, not miss him on these wide open throws, because you know he's a quick get off receiver. You know he has a quick release. You know he has a speed. You know he's a timing type of wide receiver and can make plays after the catch. He may not be that big play wide receiver that's going to go jump over someone, but you know what his talent is. And if you could get a coordinator and quarterback to match that, I truly believe he could take off. That's why I'm saying if he ever gets a quarterback that could utilize his talent, he may go off for 1,500-yard season or be a top receiver in this league. But he'll never be that in Pittsburgh. He'll never be that receiver because of their quarterback situation, what they're trying to do on offense, trying to run the ball first, pass second, and just the type of quarterback that they have that just can't put the ball on timing every single time consistently. But anyway, looking at Diontae Johnson and this trade scenario, what can the Steelers really get back for Diontae Johnson if they do try to trade him? And they said they would trade him if it's for fair compensation. That's what the report was. So what is fair compensation? Well, you have to think. Diontae Johnson, he's going to be making nearly $20 million this season. He's up for a contract. This is the final year of his contract. What would a team really give up for someone on the final year of his contract making nearly $20 million? Well, if you think it's going to be a first-round draft pick, probably not. If you think it's going to be a second-round draft pick, probably not. I would say the best they would get would be a third-round draft pick. But in more reality, I think it would be a fourth or fifth-round pick. Even though that's not a lot, I would not give up Diontae Johnson for a fifth-round pick. But that's probably in the range that they would be getting him because he's in the final year of his contract. You don't know who he's going to sign with, so he could be just a rental. And you're not going to get a second-round pick as a rental. When the Steelers traded Chase Claypool to the Chicago Bears, he had 2 more years left on his deal. So at least they knew that they had him for 1 more season. It was not a rental. And they fleeced the Bears. And hopefully, if they do get a second-round pick, hopefully we could say the Steelers fleeced a different team for Diontae Johnson. Hopefully that's the case. But in reality, I think it's either going to be a 4th or 5th-round pick if Diontae Johnson does indeed get traded. Hopefully it's higher though, like a 3rd or 2nd. But that's a fair compensation, I believe, that the report is basically saying. That's my thoughts on the compensation that the Steelers would get if they would trade Diontae Johnson. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on the situation and these reports saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers are basically open to trading Diontae Johnson. He's not officially on the trade block, but they will be open to trading him this offseason. And tell me your thoughts on all the reports I said as well that are saying that he may be doing holding, he's unhappy with the quarterback situation, and just your thoughts on me saying that he was put in a bad situation in terms of quarterback-wise throughout his career with the Steelers. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like serious content, analysis, reports. Make sure you like the video, turn on post notifications, click that bell down below so you get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video. And I cover all the news surrounding them, like this report here, and also everything to do with Steelers as we move into free agency and the draft. So turn on notifications, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.